This week it's carnival time on RPM as we cross the Atlantic for the all-new Barbados Historic Rally Carnival. The past is our future is the slogan for this new event, but sideways driving and entertainment has always been a priority in this tropical land. Barbados, 166 miles of coral reef. It's famous for its beaches, cricket, and amazingly, rallying has grown to become the most popular spectator sport in the island, even more popular than cricket. They know how to party in Barbados, and sandwiched between a rally sprint and a tarmac stage rally are 14 days of enjoyment. Back in 2003, Irish historic rally aces Drexel Gillespie and John Keatley certainly got the message. The following year, Belfast driver Kieran O'Neill, already renowned for his lurid style and his broad-siding Opel Kadett, made hosts of new friends on the other side of the Atlantic when he opposite locked his green and white machine across the island. Carnival creator Greg Cozier, everybody has a nickname in Barbados, not only organises the event but takes part in it.
Yeah, the idea is supported by the Barbados Tourism Association and other government agencies as a long stay sports tourism event. So basically we fill up 2 weeks with social events, parties, anything we can think of to entertain people for 2 weeks, and then 2 motorsport events. The Rally Carnival is 10 years old, is our 10th anniversary, so we decided to go historic. It seems that that's the way to go these days.
Francis Tuttle has brought a pair of gorgeous 911s over for the experience.
In most rallies, you arrive, you work, you go home, and you don't really enjoy where you are. Very often you have no time. You're working or taking place in the rally and you get no time to look around and relax. So this would be nice.
The locals have well-prepared cars and they're always prepared for a party.
Well, we got the selling points. We have the sun, the rum, and good motorsport. So what more do you need?
Bushy Park and the stage is set for the Subaru International Rally Sprint. The little 1.2-mile circuit attracted many Irish racing drivers in the 70s, including Alec Poole, Gabriel Koenig, Derek McMahon, and, would you believe, Eddie Jordan. Today, the rally sprint takes in 2 anti-clockwise laps, including an infield section over the grass. But to the locals, that seems merely to be a suggestion. The big names are back at Bushy Park, including that honorary Irishman, Jimmy McRae.
Yeah, it is very interesting. I think it's, obviously very laid back, so it's going to be good fun. I've had the chance before to come to the event in May, but they've always been something that stopped me getting here, so it's good to come with a historic car. It should be interesting.
Graham Wilcock takes us for a belt round Bushy Park in his 2-litre Opel Manta. The Yorkshireman is a regular visitor to the Barbados Rally, and although his 1984 Opel Manta wouldn't fit inside the UK historic rules, the rules are a little different in Barbados. Graham uses the power of the more modern 2-litre Vauxhall engine Opel to power past the spinning opposition. This Manta produces around 230 horsepower. More modern engines are allowed, but fuel injection, sequential gearboxes and adjustable suspension are not. Lap 2 takes in the loose infield section, which is slippery after the overnight liquid sunshine. Graham, or Grum as he's been nicknamed by the Bajans, competes for fun in what's a relatively cheap rally car.
The deal was too good to be true, and anyway I went along with it, and 2 weeks later the car was down in Portsmouth ready to come, and about 3 weeks after that we're here.
His friend and rival Nick Cook has similar Vauxhall power in his older style Mark I. Nick has been to the Barbados Rally on many occasions, but the historic Carnival provides him with a better class for his escort.
I think lessons could be learnt for the UK. Opening the categories up. Letting other people in who necessarily can't afford to go BD, Pinto. Big power. You know, we've got a cheap engine in there and we can go historic rallying. It's great, yeah, fantastic.
Yes, they do it differently in Barbados, and the Bushy Park circuit is being attacked from all angles. The big race of the day. Here are two truly historic cars, Peter Brace in the 1972 Renault 12 Gordini and Ding Boston's Riley 1.5. The crowd love it. Ding's restored Riley has been rebuilt and run by the students from the Oxford University Motorsports Federation. It's on its fourth event in Barbados, and it's a winner on this occasion.
The rally driving, not racing this, you know.
Yeah, that's what they told us, but Ding and I are having a bit of a battle out there, so yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. Losing control on the grass and then trying to regain the tarmac is great fun.
The undoubted entertainer of the day, however, is local showman Andrew Jones. The crowd favourite has been looking out the side windows all day with his 2.4 Escort. But Andrew is to prove that he can drive fast as well as sideways.
Changing the front, we got a little more grip, because I didn't think it was going sideways, you know.
You're not going sideways enough?
No, I won't get more. No, I ain't teasing with it. I put on a different tyre now to see if it'll help me in the mud.
But you're having great fun?
Yes, that's what it is, motorsport. Motor is the vehicle and fun is the sport.
The rally sprint drifts into darkness, and the finale is between Andrew Jones and the legendary Jimmy McRae in his 3-litre historic Porsche. And although Jonesy has bolted on his Christmas lights, he drives the Escort to victory and sets the fastest time of the day. The Subaru Rally Sprint is just a warm-up event for the following week's Summer Stages Rally, and a warm-up for the partying, which started again the following day. But no one seemed to remember when it finished.
The rally crews have had a week to complete their recce for the rally. There are 2 stages which will be done in both directions. Not too exasperating then, but the parting, that's another story. Jimmy McRae won 7 punishing Circuit of Ireland rallies, so the summer stages, which very conveniently start after lunch, is a much more relaxed affair.
Been made very welcome, and it's the atmosphere's great, and they're just saying at the end of the rally here there's a few cool boxes of beer. You don't go away from here early on tomorrow morning. One of the roads is very, very bumpy, and they've just been telling me there it was a road that was put in as a temporary road, so they don't maintain it now, so I understand why. But quite tricky in the bumps. I just don't know how the car will perform in the bumps. And the other roads, pretty quick. Quite a nice stage actually, the one up north.
The 13 historic crews run at the tail of the Barbados Rally Club's event, which is led off by 10 times Barbados Rally winner Roger the Sheriff Skeet.
It's tremendous to have Jimmy McRae here. It's an honour to tag along in the same event that he's in.
The enthusiastic crowds await the first McRae to rally over the Bayesian roads on the opening Turner's Hall test, a 3-mile blast that is mainly downhill. Jimmy has had mixed experience in historic Porsches in the past and is very wary of their ability to swap ends, but the canny Scot is never far from the pace. He settles into an early 4th place after 3 tests in the Tuttle Porsche. Francis Tuttle's 911 is a more historic 2-litre example. Fastest man at Bushy Park and fastest with the handbrake too, Andrew Jones is on the attack, just 4.6 seconds off the lead after 3 stages. The man behind the carnival is the man in front of the rally, as Greg Cozier puts his 2.4 Duratec Escort into the lead in spectacular fashion. The car was built in Ireland. Stuart White won the 1600 class at Bushy Park and looks set to repeat that on this event. as we experience the Turner's Hall test inside Graham Wilcox's Opel Manta. John Coates is on the pace notes.
Close. Long right foul, opens over crest. 50.
In many ways, the roads are similar to those in Ireland, but grip levels are a little lower, and if it rains, the limestone-based surface can be lethal. Grum and John are fifth, just 3 seconds behind McRae after 3 stages. His friend Nick Cook with co-driver Nigel Hutchinson, however, have got off to an even better start. And they're third and over a second ahead of Jimmy. Local ace Ryan Wood, or Woody as he is known, is another of those tail-out tearaways, but he's out early with a mechanical failure. Oxford's Ding Boston is a Barbados regular in the heavily sponsored rally, whilst Andrew Skeet seems to be taking over Andrew Jones's mantle of being the most entertaining local on the event. A mantle much appreciated by the Bayesian crowds. Everybody. Peter Brace is on his first proper rally in his rare Renault.
But it's not only the new historic field that are worth watching. Roger Skeet, or the Sheriff as he's known, heads no less than 5 WRC machines on this event. On this little island, that's more than you would see in the internationals at home these days. Indeed, his S12B Subaru did see service in Ireland with Jack Slater and Eugene Donnelly behind the wheel. Trinidad's John Powell trails Skeet in a similar S12 Subaru WRC. Whilst Roger the Ninja Hill uses the Corolla WRC that he lent to Chris Meek 2 years ago when Chris won Rally Barbados. Roger settles into second place behind Skeet. Jamaican driver Gary Gregg had this 05 Ford Focus built new at M Sport. Fellow Jamaican John Powell is slightly ahead in third place with his older Focus WRC, as the 32 non-historic entrants fling their cars over the Turner's Hall and Pickering stages. There are some serious machines in Barbados and some seriously fast drivers, but Eric Allenby in his old Mitsubishi Lancer doesn't seem to be taking things too seriously. Having spotted the large crowd and the RPM camera, Eric puts it broadside, much to the delight of the well-behaved crowd, who are enjoying the rallying and the rum. But it's time to shimmy back to the second and final daylight loop for the Barbados Historic Rally Carnival cruise. Greg Cozier and Jamie Marsh lead the field, but not by much, especially as here on the Fast Pickering's test, they're generally giving best to the Porsche. After 6 of the 12 stages, the Escort driver has just 6.4 seconds of a lead. Jimmy McRae and co-driver Campbell Roy have now got a taste for Bajan tarmac, and they're fastest on stages 4 and 6 to move up into second place. The double Irish tarmac champion's smooth style is also helping to compensate for a Porsche that's not set up ideally for the Bajan roads. While Andrew Jones likes to set up his Mark II sideways for the corners. However, Jonesy's doing less drifting and is right on Jimmy's tail, just 1.1 seconds behind. They head back to service where times are checked and spotlights fitted, ready to tackle the same stages reversed in the dark. And Greg Cozier has a slender lead to hold.
It seems my car is quicker than the Porsche through Turner's Hall, but then Pickering's is very much faster. And I think Jimmy is making probably about 2 seconds a stage on us in Pickering's. So we're doing what we can do. But the real problem at night is that when the temperature in our roads changes, a lot of funny things can happen. And you know, this tarmac builds up heat in an entire tropical day, and if there's even just a sprinkling of rain, oil comes out of it, and so we'll see. The grip is the biggest problem at night. Not so much seeing where you're going, it's the actual changes in the physical surface.
Yeah, I think we're 8 seconds behind Greg and equal with the other green escorts. So good fun. The first stage, the bumpy stage, I wasn't very sure of that this morning, but on the other one we're quicker, so we'll see how it goes in the dark.
The battle for fourth has been a close fought one.
C50, right 7, 100.
Graham Wilcock and John Coates have now slotted their venerable Opel Manta into fourth, ahead of their friend Nick Cook. Nick has had an overshoot which cost him time, but fortunately not too much. Whilst Graham, or Grum as he's known, is also trying hard and having the odd moment in the Opel.
Less close. 200.
Busy getting a bit of a lead on Nick.
Well, yeah, only due to him having a spin on the last one. It's been close up until then. I think we only had, I don't know what there was, but roughly about 3 seconds between us, 3 or 4 seconds, somewhere there. And I had a good run through the last one. I was kept up time through there. Nick spun it and lost 12 to me, so I should be about 8 in front, I think, or something, 7 or 8, 9, something like that. Don't know really.
Well, he may not know, but the gap is in fact around 8 seconds. But Nick thinks he may be able to pull that back.
We had about 5-6 seconds up on him and going into the last one, and we dropped about 12 seconds to him, so probably 6 behind. Had a spinner and then a puncher, so we carried on with the puncher, got to the end of the stage, but 6 seconds, we had that on him this morning, so we might be able to get it back. We'll try anyway.
Stuart White is 6th and leads Class 3 in his Starlet, a drive which will see him on his way to lift the Andrew Phillips Memorial Barbados King of the Carnival trophy for his class-winning performances. Francis Tuttle in 7th is loving his trip to Barbados and is very keen to bring the Porsche back next year, and hopefully a few more of the Porsches from the Tuttle stable. The Oxford University students are keeping the 1965 Riley in fine fettle, and Ding hasn't put any dents in the dinky little car, which was a popular rally machine in the early 60s. Andrew Skeet is more likely to put a few dents in his Mitsubishi Colt with his sideways style. This car is similar to the machines Anders Kulang and Pentti Ricola rallied in the early 80s. Whilst Peter Brace and Bernard Northmore almost make the extremely rare Renault 12 Gordini even rarer. They're enjoying their first ever Pace Note rally and a fantastic deal available for historic crews on this Rally Carnival. Spencer Hutchinson and Antonio De Silva and the 205 are very much behind the organisation of the carnival. The enthusiasm for the sport in this land is undiminished.
As we head into the night, the WRC cars are again first on the stages. And first home on this event after another great drive is Roger Skeet. 27 seconds behind is Roger Hill in the venerable WRC Corolla. Just 4 seconds behind him is Jamaican Jeffrey Panton. The World Rally cars seem to have found a new home in the Caribbean. And as always in Barbados, the bus to Bridgetown must take priority. It's all part of the deal with the Barbados Rally Club. Jimmy McRae at 63 isn't quite ready for the bus pass yet. He's a little worried about his night vision. However, it doesn't show as he blasts the Porsche into the darkness.
We're not so quick at night, I'm afraid. Struggling a wee bit against the locals, but we're still here.
Greg Cozier has it all to lose.
The car is running a little bit better at night, but the roads are a bit more slippery, so I don't think there's a lot in it between Jimmy and I, so we're still driving.
Jonesy is lit up early for the Christmas ahead, but he's not far behind the leaders. In the battle for the oldest cars, the Renault 12 and the Rally 1.5, it is Ding Boston who comes out on top. It may not be fast, but with a little help from local engineer and driver Jeff Olliott, it handles surprisingly well. 6th overall, but taking the King of the Carnival trophy for his class wins, Stuart White receives a free entry for the Killarney Historic Rally in December, and he may not be the only Bayesian driver contesting that event. In the Battle of the Yorkshire Drivers, Nick Cook settles for 5th place after another small overshoot. Whilst inside Graham Wilcox's Opel Manta, we get a rare chance to sample the Barbados roads at night.
To right 5 and left 3, 380, left 240.
Grum and co-driver Cozier, more nicknames, have loved every minute of this new event. 4th place is a fine reward for their efforts.
50, right 3, 80, left 7 and right 1.
With all his lights ablaze, Andrew Jones finishes in a fine 3rd place, proving that he can drive quickly as well as spectacularly, finishing just 6 seconds behind Jimmy McRae. Jimmy is, as ever, competitive, finishing in 2nd on his Barbados debut, and has already marked his intention to be back for what promises to be an even better historic carnival in 2011. But the winner, Greg Cozier, really did provide the entertainment over the 2 weeks, not only as the carnival creator and party host, but with his sideways antics in his new Mark II Escort. 12 seconds was the margin of victory for Greg, who already has a fantastic deal in place to invite up to 20 foreign crews to the event next year. The past really could be the future in Barbados. As the prize giving kicks off on the beach the next day, the great Jimmy McRae appreciates the unique atmosphere.
You know, I think this is, back in the UK and, events, we've lost this atmosphere, where, a prize gives a bit of fun and a bit of, banter between all the drivers, and, you've got it here.
This is a civilised rally, we get the rallying over with, and we're going to spend a day at the beach and have a few drinks, have a good time.
It's been a success for Greg, not only in winning the event, but also in running the first historic carnival. And it's only the start of what could be a fantastic concept.